Hi, hello, and welcome to episode 8 of my Call of Cthulhu playthrough, and more broadly speaking, episode 26 of my YouTube channel. I, like the thing on the doorstep, am imaginary. We're gonna get back into this and escape the shambler. Oh,
This is insane.
Oh, I thought I was gonna have
What
to
killed
run.
him?
This is gonna be like one of those moments where I gotta run away from something. Oh shit, wait, man. He's out of the way. Fuck. I mean, he's dead. I saw his head get twisted around. I guess there's nothing to look at here. Let's just go upstairs. Probably my fault. Oh, I don't have a choice here. I'm not gonna recover. No, not that way. Okay, I guess I will recover eventually.
Damn!
Or not?
The gas!
Oh shit. I thought I was getting out.
Oh, my head.
Later. We need to move on.
Oh, hi Bradley. Oh, I'm back in the mansion apparently. Okay. Pierce woke up in an asylum installed in the cellars of the Riverside Institute. He met Dr. Colden, a female friend of Bradley, who helped him to escape. Wandering through the corridors of this place where Dr. Fuller reigned supreme, Pierce was able to talk to a man called Francis Sanders. Before dying in full view of the detective, he accused Sarah Hawkins of being the cause of his torments. Pierce finally left the accursed building, accompanied by Bradley and Colden. The companions in misfortune decided to use the Hawkins mansion as a hideout. Okay. Ooh. Hello, great old one. Hey there, Cthulhu. What you doing? Crap, what's the city called? Forgotten City of
Who goes
Bradley.
there?
I think it is.
That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Let's go ahead and spin my points quick. I've got 5 clown posses here. Do I want to do the speak good? Or be good investigator, good in psychology? Kind of want to do the speak good. I gotta hit enter. What did I get? What's that achievement? Hold on. You guys didn't see that, but I got an achievement called Detective. Reach the level of expert in a skill. Okay. Because I reached expert in eloquence, I suppose. Oh, they fell silent as soon as I started listening. This place looks so much nicer in the daytime. Holy crap.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
I don't. Okay.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day's only starting. It's fine.
Yeah, but which day? How many days have I been out?
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
Yeah, because I saw Bradley die.
There are things I can't explain.
Bradley looks like he's
Tell
trying to
us.
intimidate me.
What happened?
I saw people in hoods. They had stolen Mrs. Hawkins' paintings.
Who are you talking about? Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know, but they were a threat. They've taken over the caves under the mansion. They were performing some kind of ritual. One of the entryways was under Charles Hawkins' office.
We suspect Mr. Hawkins of being involved.
My patients believe the old islanders used to worship primitive sea gods. Could they be the focus of the cult?
Am I hearing this right?
So you think me gullible?
No, not at all.
What else did you uncover, Mr. Pierce?
Bradley, why are you being such a dick?
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what.
What just happened to her skirt?
Something was there, with us.
Did she
what
unfold
do
her
you
legs
speak?
and I just wasn't paying attention?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
I'd never said
Francis
she did.
Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no
Right, and he was also
coincidence.
like her best.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector.
Right.
I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
It's nice to finally meet
If you
some
plan
actual
on having
females
dinner
on
at the
this
Sanders
island.
household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see
This
Francis's
will
widow.
affect my destiny.
Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
I think I'm finally in like the game proper here. Like I'm out of
Let us
the
go now and learn the
tutorial
truth about what's
area.
happening on this island.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
You fucking died. Why haven't we addressed that yet? Excuse me, Pierce? Can I ask you a question? Why haven't we addressed the fact that he died? Oh, okay. I don't actually get to walk to the Sanders residence. I don't get to do anything else in the house. I just leave. Alright. Pierce, Colden, and Bradley decided to team up to solve the Sarah Hawkins case. They have a new trail to follow. Francis Sanders, an art collector and friend of the painter, who died right in front of Pierce. The detective goes to his house in order to speak to his widow about the shambler that the unfortunate man mentioned before he died.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may.
She's pretty.
However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That's not a very flattering dress.
That is
for her.
precisely what brings me here.
Oh, hey.
Well, well, look who's here.
Hi, Cat. Wonder how Cat is connected with
You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well,
What are
Miss
you doing
Baker.
here, though, Cat?
This way, Mr. Pierce.
Ooh, that's a clue as
And
to
do
who
make
she actually
yourself
is.
comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Who else do I know named Baker? That's a creepy painting. It's like something out of Junji Ito right there.
May I inquire
We
as
did
to
take a lot of
when
inspiration
you
from,
had the opportunity to
Lovecraft, so-
talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone.
No,
The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
oh.
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your
Wait, did I
eyes?
tell you that it was
Did you
right
not
before
do
my eyes?
anything to help him?
I remember telling you it was right before my eyes.
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce.
Did I fail
I would be
that test
grateful
of
if you could tell me
eloquence?
what you expect of me,
I had a
and then
70%,
leave.
Come on.
I deduce that your husband already mentioned this dimensional shambler.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my
She's
only
pretty,
lead
but
at
that
this
dress is
stage.
not very flattering on her.
I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Poor woman. I feel bad for her.
The day the shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Well, she looks much larger in this than she does here. She's definitely lost some weight. Do I have to just like reconstruct your life here, please? Sorry for me to pretend like you're not here. Because to me, you no longer are.
A house of artists.
So she's a piano player, then, possibly.
Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
I mean, she gifted him one of her paintings. I would assume so. Probably partners in crime and trying to stop the Eldritch horrors.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Oh, hello.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? He didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated. Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
Possibly if your husband only talks about one person and it's another woman. I mean... Oh, I can't leave this room. shit, he tore his eyes out in the room?
The Shambler. I need to see it.
Well, shit, I don't want to see anymore. She's lost a lot of weight. Compared to the memories in the picture I saw. Oh, that's pretty. That's really cool looking.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Where am I gonna find a phonograph? Yet another mansion here. I'm sure they're just middle class too, right? Yeah, middle class. Oh, hey, a phonograph. Excuse me, can I use this?
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me.
Oh, his wife was on his mind.
Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it.
I'll do it for you.
He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids. Each time I shut my eyes.
That is some Lovecraftian horror shit.
I can't
I love
take
it.
anymore.
Oh, I thought it was over.
I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Oh, I guess I'll have more chances later. I mean, I assume she's heard that before, right? Is that a bad assumption? I feel like it's not. Oh, hello, cat. Let's talk. Wait, I closed the door. You're not even gonna look up.
The strange Amerindian pendant.
Wait, what did I just get? Jack of all trades. Inspect 50 items. Okay.
I could use one of those. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting.
Dear
To
Francis,
finally give it away for
I
nothing.
beg you to give up all hope of ever owning this accursed painting. If our friendship has any meaning for you, please spare me the weight of guilt. I cannot be the architect of your fall. I beg you, my dear friend, forget the Shambler. Your friend, Sarah Hawkins.
An old diary.
This volume spends some time in Reverend Wickwood's community. His wife expresses her worries about the strange dreams that the Reverend's congregation are having since their arrival on the island. Some members of the community, her husband included, began to speak of their vision as a messenger sent by God. She's scared that they will suffer the same fate as the lost tribe. Okay, so the tribe of people who lived here before the settlers were lost. Their land wasn't stolen necessarily. Wasn't too hard. It is the work of a student in a book form. Although the observations are relevant, they lack the expertise of an experienced physician. However, the questions asked allow us to imagine new ways of exploring human anatomy. How good is my medicine now? 32. It's getting up there. Alright, let's check this book out. Oh, I found an occult thing. I got another achievement. Accept to read in the holy book. It is a kind of encyclopedia of monstrous and unknown creatures. I'm beginning to believe that they exist. Oh shit. This is gonna totally say things. Damn it! Wait, that was volume 2. Where was volume 1? Now I want volume 1!
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others.
How did I step on your toes?
What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
I don't want to get on her bad side by questioning her.
All's fair in love and war, I suppose.
My cat. You know,
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
well, I'd like to know what that book is. That wasn't something I could observe. I really like Kat. I hope she's more of a character as this game goes on. Ooh. Oh, there's something to hide in. That's good to know, because I think I'm about to encounter the Shambler. Let's go ahead and close this and keep Kat safe. That looks like a ritualistic dagger and some Eldritch tomes or carvings. Spyglass, knife, and some doubloons. Those are cool and creepy. I like them. Oh, that looks like the painting that's in the house. The one that, like... I don't
These
really see.
artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Now that straight up is a Cthulhu dagger right there. Tentacles and shit. What is this? Is this like Jesus and Mary, but Mary's Cthulhu? Oh, there's another door here. What's this one?
The public entrance to the gallery.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. You know, this is just middle class living, though. Oh, that is a really cool painting. Oh, these are cool. That's kind of creepy, though. This man keeps showing up in paintings, but I don't think I've seen him yet. Unless I'm mistaken. That's cool looking. More knives and shit. Another hiding spot. Oh, okay. It's just him going,
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
That's creepy. And then there's like a stone stuck in rock there. Better get that out. Oh, there's more of them. Why is the writing glowing? That's the creepy thing.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Oh wait, do the other light. There you go. Oh, there's the Shambler. Oh, I like this one too. I'd like to own a painting like that. Oh, wow. Wait, that is a... Isn't that like a gory version of an actual statue? I might be wrong about that, but that looks like one. That's neat. Alright, what's this? Let's put off going to the Shambler for as much as possible. Oh, more oil. Good. Wait, you get two of the same statue? One without blood on it, though. Wait, why does one have blood but the other one doesn't? Alright. Alright, Shambler. Let's discuss. Wait, what's that behind you?
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking
Possessing
to
the
acquire
talents of
it?
Sarah Hawkins, Sanders drew a dagger with a tortured form down to the smallest detail. The guard carries a strange esoteric symbol, a recurring feature of his correspondence with Sarah. Alright, time to take a close look at the Shambler. Thing that's gonna start shit off in this mansion, because there's a bunch of hiding spots all over the place. So clearly something's got to happen, right? Hey, my dude, my friend. Here's. Doesn't have eyes, so it can't see. Just don't make any sudden movements or any noise. Outside, where to put those
What the hell was that?
It's gonna find me in here. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. Didn't expect anything different. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode with that death. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike.